Hello, heroes and villains. Welcome to Multiverse. Today, there's been a request for quite some time from some people asking if I could make a video about Justice League Gods and Monsters. So, tonight is the night of nights, so let's get this party started. So, we are going to start basically, for those of you who may not know, Justice League Gods and Monsters was an animated feature from Bruce Timm and his crew. It was an alternate universe version of the Justice League where Superman was the son of the evil General Zod. Batman was actually Kirk Armstrong, who later became Man-Bat at some point. But in this universe, he didn't become Man-Bat, he became the Batman. And there was a new version of Wonder Woman, which kind of looked like a female Fury from Apocalypse, although she was supposed to be called Becca. I seem to recall Becca was a love interest for Orion in I think it was in the graphic novel, the New Gods graphic novel, The Hunger Dogs. But it's been years and years since I read that comics, so I could be misremembering. So well, let's start with our friend Superman, which is the son of the evil General Zod. So you can see they gave him a more evil-looking look by giving him the evil goatee, of course. If you're an evil villain and you're wearing a goatee, it means you're pretty evil indeed. Obviously, these guys aren't really evil, but they were a bit ruthless, I guess, in their procedure compared to the regular Justice League characters. And here we have of course, they had to give Superman a trench coat. At some point in the late 80s, early 90s, trench coat became the new cape for superheroes. It's as if they were embarrassed to give characters capes, so they started giving them trench coat, which kind of gives a bit the feel of a cape, the presence of a cape, what without being an actual cape. So they had to give our friend Superman a trench coat. Here I'm using the Gunslinger trench coat. Sadly for the chest part, like the blue part on the chest, it's not exactly it. There's too much texture. It should be pretty much the same texture as the pants. Sadly, within the context of DC Universe Online, sometimes you have to make tough choices. There is an actual trench coat style that could be used, but I kind of prefer the other one because of the color and all that. But this is an alternative you could use if somehow you don't like the other version. And I guess there is the classic duster that could do the trick, although it doesn't. I kind of prefer the color of the first coat that I showed you, but I guess the classic duster could be an option if you want to. For the pants, I went with the reverse slimline, but any number of pants could do the trick. And for the boots, I used the Gadgeteer boots, but there's a whole bunch of other boots that could work. One that comes to mind is the Midnight boots. Those would probably work as well. Next, we have our friend the Batman, who was Kurt Armstrong. Again, he was in the regular DC universe. He's actually Man-Bat. We saw him in Mission or two in DC Universe Online. But in this case, he never became Man-Bat. He became a weird, twisted version of the Batman instead. And lately, we got the Dawnbreaker headpiece, which is perfect to recreate the character. So for that piece, I went with the Damaged Lantern, which was again perfect for this character. If somehow you don't have the Damaged Lantern headpiece, you could go for the Batman headpiece. But if you do that, you are going to have to use some sniper goggles. The Damaged Lantern headpiece obviously is the better option, but this works well enough as well. For the chest piece, the slimline chest piece does the trick. For the gloves, I went with the Magic's Champion to be able to get some sort of bracelets. The Mera bracelet probably could work as well. For the belt, I went with the Bionic belt. I thought I could use the Green Knight, but it's a little too thick for my taste. I don't like it very much. The Speed Metal belt could kind of work, but I kind of went with the Bionic belt instead. Again, for the pants, I went with the reverse slimline, but any number of pants would do the trick. I went with the Swarming Bat Aura to be able to get some nice bats around our character. But for even more bats, I went with the Speed Metal back piece. So as you can see with the aura in the back piece, there's a whole bunch of bats swarming around our character. which gives a nice look, I think. And last but not least, for our Wonder Woman character, I had a bit of a hard time finding reproducing a look that was kind of close to the animated movie. So this is about as close as I was able to get with the styles that I have. It's not exactly it, but within the context of DC Universe Online, it's as close as I was able to get. For the headpiece, I went with the Bewitching Battlesuit. Probably could have used some of the Brave style, Brave Devil or Brave Star or Brave Wings. Those might have done as well. But I thought the Bewitching Battlesuit was a better option. For the shoulders, the Fourth World shoulders worked well enough. Again, there's probably a handful of shoulder pieces that could have worked. For the back piece, it's the Themyscirian Battlesuit. Although the hair kind of hide the back piece, sadly, but if you want to have a sword in the back of your character, this is a pretty good option. For the chest piece, I went with the one-piece chest piece. I guess the Themyscirian Battlesuit could have been an option, but I didn't like all the gray that the style had, so I preferred to use the one piece. For the hands, the Trim Classic works well enough. For the belt, I couldn't really find a belt that really worked or that really looked like the one in the animated movie, so I just went with the New Genesis belt, which kind of gives a New Gods feel to the character. And for the pants, I went with the angled flex suit. I didn't use any boots so that I could keep the old pattern around the calves of the character. I went and used the Patron's plumage accessory. It was allowing me to be able to get the wings to the side of the head. She had a sort of mask that had those weird big wings on each side of the head. It's not really wings, but the wings are the only thing that I could find that were close enough to the look of the character. So again, it's not exactly it, but within the context of DC Universe Online, this is a pretty good version of the character. So Justice League Gods and Monsters was a pretty fun animated movie from 2015, I think. And basically it was an Elseworlds. Although it's kind of weird because whenever they make Elseworlds in those animated movies, there's not really a regular DC universe in those movies. Pretty much every movie could be considered an Elseworld, seeing how they're often very different from the comics. So it's not as if they had like a regular line of movies that's all one universe, and then once in a while they produce Elseworlds. A lot of their movies pretty much could count as an Elseworld. But it was a fun bit, a fun alternatives on the Justice League. Seeing how the son of Zod becoming Superman, seeing Kirk Armstrong becoming the Batman. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I have roughly 2,000 videos about this universe online, so if I don't answer your question right away, just search in my videos. Odds are I've already made a video that answers your question. And that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.